Born in Cork in 1973, Patrick Fitzpatrick was considered the child prodigy of the traditional folk circuit. By the age of 9, he was already a regular on the RTE Saturday Night Folk Extravaganza, Joe Noonan's Barn Dance, where his unprecedented skills as a fiddle player earned him national fame as Patrick Fitzpatrick the Kiddie Fiddler. In 1986, he embarked on a tour of the US and he played packed theatres in Boston, San Francisco and New York. And while in New York, he discovered an emerging music scene. It was energetic, it was young, it was fresh, it was hip-hop. The effect was instant and profound. He told Kenny Shaughnessy of the Irish Times, "It was as if I was hearing hip-hop for the first time." His deep respect and love for the traditional folk music of his youth, combined with his now newfound passion for gangster rap, has created a sound which has rocked traditional folk circuit to its very foundations. That sound, of course, is gangster folk. That man, naturally, Paddy Mcdaddy Mack.
In South Central Dublin, when I went hip-hop clubbing, I first saw that punk-ass bitch Molly Malone. She was...
Though, I mean, he's a pioneer, isn't it? So, you know, he's made folk cool again. I mean, 10 years ago, I could never have rocked the Llangollen Eisteddfod alongside Charlotte Church and Ghost-Faced Killer. Before him, there was folk here and hip-hop here. And never the twain would meet. But then, what he done right was connected the two, yeah? So, all the old fucking stereotypes. For example, in Scotland, we men in kilts, playing the bagpipes, throwing fragging cavers around like it's some sunny day. And all those stereotypes just went out the window.
Gangster folk isn't political, so it isn't. It doesn't see religion or nationality, so it doesn't. It doesn't care where you're from or what you believe, so it doesn't. But that's gangster folk, not me. I do. I think Paddy Mcdaddy Mack's a filthy, pikey, bag-trotting wee idiot. And if I ever see him again, I'll pop a cap right in his hole.
The guy's a fucking genius.
I did 15 years for a rhyme I didn't submit. My dad died in jail for a rhyme I didn't submit. I will not shut up.
Paddy Mcdaddy Mack, it's great to meet you.
How are you doing, Scrapper? You can call me D Paddy if you like, it's fine.
Okay, thanks. D Paddy, let me first say how much I admire and enjoy your work.
You don't need to say that, honestly.
Well, you did actually say I had to say that.
None of smart shit, go.
D Paddy, can I just say how much I admire and enjoy your work?
You don't need to say it, but cheers, you know.
Yes, I just wanted to say.
Cheers.
Yes, and your first album, Fats, Beats and Fiddles.
That's right.
It was a seminal album, and as I recall, Country Life described it as beautiful, brave, banging, and brilliant.
I think so.
And Jake Becker of Street Sounds magazine proclaimed it as nothing less than genius and wrote me a quote, that folk music now fills the dance floors in underground clubs, that millions of young people expressing themselves through the medium of break jigging, and that the streets language of urban kids is that of 18th century navvies, and it's all down to this one man. That's quite an accolade. Now, do you consider yourself firstly a folk musician or a gangster rapper?
You see, Dick, the thing is...
Actually, it's Nick.
It's Nick, not Dick or Rick or Vic, but he's just a little nitpicking pricky. Do you like that? Do you like that? Mad
Yeah.
skills. As I was saying, Dick, folk gave us country, which gave us rock and roll, which gave us rock, which gave us funk, which eventually gave us hip-hop. So if you think about it, you know, folk is just very, very old-school hip-hop. You just need to look at the real names of rappers to see that, like P. Diddy. His real name is Sean Combs, clearly Irish. And, of course, the great Snoop Doggo Dogg. You got Cypress Bill, fantastic act. R. Kelly, Ryan Kelly, Irish. And then, of course, there's, you know, the Wu-Tang Clan.
I'm sorry?
Great lads, the RZA, the Jizza, the old dirty bastard, you know. I knew old Dirty well, actually. He used to come and stay on my father's notorious PIG farm when we were lads. That's how he got his name, because he was the best muck spreader that Galway's ever seen. You know, we used to have a laugh. We used to go clay cop shooting. Great crack, great crack. We didn't have that much fun, you know, but he did have some great crack.
3, 16, 22, £2 lovely. What's that, son? All right, yeah, well, I mean, Paddy's the hardest working folk singer you're ever going to meet, in the rap game anyway, you know, and he's booted the door open for all these young, fresh-faced gangster folk acts, Tapia Mafia, you know, Morris Mendoza and the like. Of course, many more from outside the UK, most notably the Israeli Jewish hip-hop crew, Oys in the Hood, featuring the great talents of Iceberg and Dr. Dreidel, of course. But Paddy ain't like these, you know, fake folk rappers. He's heard the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. He's ridden skinny horses through the streets of Dublin, playing a little penny whistle. He's run through the mist with, you know, rosy-cheeked, ginger-haired women. He knows what he's talking about. Farmhand's a ghetto superstar. That's what he's come up from, you know, which is what cynical old player haters like that nipple, you know, Bernie Farrell from Keep Folk Traditional and Jimmy Lockery, so-called music journalists from Country Life, don't seem to understand. So, you know, Paddy's had the odd scrape, but ain't we bloody all?
Nick it!
So tell us about your approach. How do you compose and create? How exactly do you...
It's all about the 3 L's. Less talking, more listening, and always make words rhyme. Here. The old hometown looks the same as my low ride takes the lane. And there to meet me are my homeboys, Snoop and K-Rock. Down the lane I look, and there's sweet Joanne. I'm her daddy, she's my hoe, and it's good to smoke the green, green grass of home. Boys, you see, you take folk, you take hip-hop, you get gangster folk. Now, I don't eat meat, I never touch sweets. I'm lactose intolerant with celiac disease. I'm wary of dairy in any fish dish. I gave free the beef because I find it too rich. There's one veg that I just can't hate. It's great and filled with carbohydrate. Cooler than carrots, more hip than turnips. Sweeter on your lips than the sweetest on parsnips. Boil it up, mash
So, Prankster Folk, a triumph of postmodernism, combining, of course, folk music with hilarious practical jokes. Now, imagine my arse chin represents the entire history of folk music. I'm sorry, I think I followed through again. No, I'm clean.
No, not prankster folk, Paul. Gangster folk.
Not prankster folk.
Gangster. Paddy Mcdaddy Mack.
This is ridiculous. You can't make up your minds, can you? I'm Paul Morley, for fuck's sake. Writer and broadcaster Paul Morley. I am Talking Heads. I've done them all. I've done Britain's favourite smells. I love diabetes, top 100 foghorns. But this is the worst setup I've ever known. In fact, it's shit.
Well, I mean, Paddy Mcdaddy Mack, he's a folk rapper, isn't he? I mean, he's got to be a player because they're all the same, that lot. Proper players. Someone's got to stop me. But this is proper gorgeous. That's got to be butter. That is got. Do you want to try some of that? No. You're missing out, that's gorgeous. Where were I now? Never mind believing in chords, he's done a fair bit of relieving himself in the chords. All night long, apparently, without a flipping ceasefire. I'm so filthy, aren't I? Proper potty mouth, ask anyone. I'll sod it. You only live once, don't you? That is gorgeous. That's got to be butter. Oh, do you know who else I heard? Sinead O'Connor.